Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett with Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Friday, September 27th, 2019. We are now in the final trading hour of the day and the final trading hour of the week, which I am glad because this week has been kind of a doozy. It's been a wild one. As you know, I prefer to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions in the last hour of the market, and ideally as close to the close as possible. During the day, you have the algorithms, you have the day traders that are moving the prices around, trading the prices around, and then at the end of the day in the final hour, the big boys come into town and they move the prices where they feel are the most appropriate prices of the day, and therefore those are the prices that I like to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions from. So, all right, Rock Nike, how you doing? Thank you for coming by. Appreciate you coming. I haven't seen you before. Hope you keep coming back. So, okay, looks like everybody can hear me. Well, we're having a wild day, that's for sure. This has been some kind of week. This has been a week that's very difficult to make money, whether you're long, short. It's been very choppy, headline-driven news. We had some news out today about President Trump mentioning that, that we might stop all investment in China. So it's been a hot mess. I haven't seen a market so driven by headlines in a long time. So it's important, everybody. I talk about this every day, but it's important that your position size is conservative, because if you have a conservative position size and the market goes up, okay, you're happy. But if you have these huge down days like we're having lately and you are too large, it's really going to damage your account, and it's really going to damage your psyche, and it's no way to trade. So, let's take the long view on trading. Let's always position size correctly. We're going to have bumps in the road like this week. But if you position size correctly and conservatively and the market goes down, of course you're going to lose money, but that's part of the game, right? I mean, being a trader is winning and losing, and it's not all butterflies and rainbows and going up. And these last couple weeks has kind of shown that it can be challenging. Doesn't always go up. So it's part of the game. Remember that. Don't get down. Don't get discouraged. We have many more days of trading in front of us. We're going to have some good times. We're going to have some bad times. So keep it together. And that all gets back to trading psychology and keeping your emotions in check. And the way to keep your emotions in check is to position size correctly. So, all right. So let's take a look here. All right. Steve Burns. Hey, buddy. What's going on? Good to see you, Steve. Thank you for coming. Always a pleasure to see you. Always an honor to have you here. Thank you for including me on your list today. I really do appreciate that. Jesse says, hey, Greg, let's solve the riddle known as the stock market. Yeah, if you can solve it and get an answer, let me know. It's like golf, right? You never really quite master it. And I guarantee you, the day that you think you have the market mastered, it will change up on you. I promise. But it's good to see you, Jesse. Steve says Trump is driving the market bust more than the Fed. Yes, this is nuts. I mean, it's nuts. But what are you going to do, right? We can only take our signals, position size correctly, get in when we're supposed to, get out when we're supposed to. Dustin, 4WW, what's up, Greg? Hey, what's up, Dustin? I am having a good day, interesting day, though. I'll tell you what, I woke up and I saw what the market, and I was like, ugh. Then I have my guy, my plumbing sprinkler guy. He was doing some work outside, and he hit this line, and major flood. He comes running in. He says, how do you turn the water off? I'm like, what are you talking about? And there was like this wall of water coming. And so I had to go Rambo style into the street because we turned off all the water, but it didn't turn it off. I had to go Rambo style in the street, lift up the manhole, climb down there with this huge plumber's wrench and turn off the water to the whole cul-de-sac. So he's got it fixed. Man, I've been walking around in mud and so kind of a 1-2 punch, but I think he's got it handled. So maybe we can see if we can get this market handled. That would solve it all. Max says, such strange day. Tuesday had a lot more downside volume. Today, down volume is less than yesterday. Ah, interesting. Okay, Steve says, the minute you think you have found the way to trading, I promise the market will change the lock, by Linda Rashke. Yes, so true. So true, Steve. Yeah, that's kind of, I think, what I just said, kind of, but not as eloquently as Linda said it. But yeah, as soon as you think you have it figured out, it's going to change the lock. So true. Anthony says, hello all, I am now a graduate of Gossett Trading and Mentoring. Yay. Thanks for everything, Greg. You're welcome. Yes, Anthony and I had our last class last night, and I feel like he's in pretty good shape. I do want to mention, guys, that, if you do take private lessons with me, if you take the 2-hour course, once the course is over, it's not like it's over and you can't contact me. I mean, once I have a student, you guys can Skype me, if you have questions, or send me emails or whatever. So, I mean, once you graduate the course, it's not like the course is over. I'm there for you, right? Because obviously I know you're going to have questions. You're not going to master it in 10 hours. But you were a great student, Anthony. Thank you so much. And, as with all my students, look, you have any questions, please let me know. Okay. So, but I think you're in good shape. We spent about 2.5 hours last night just doing chart study, and you did really, really well. So, all right, do I even want to look at what the market's doing? All right, the Dow's down 150. It's down 0.5%. I mean, decent day down, but not even close compared to the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ's down 126 points. It's down 1.5%. It is down 3 times the Dow. So it's getting beat up pretty good. And the S&P is down 28.6%. It's down close to 1%. So yeah, this is an interesting day. It's going to be interesting to see how this closes, because you know how it is over the weekend. President Trump tweets something out, then generally China responds over the weekend. I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen this week. I just don't know, but I've seen a trend of that happening. So it'll be very interesting to see how the market reacts towards the end of the day with the close. So let's buckle our seatbelts. So, all right. Well, listen, the plan for today, as usual, is we're going to go ahead and run the U.S. legal disclaimer. We're going to get that out of the way. We're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my positions. We're going to take a look at when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward, either to the upside or the downside. Then we are going to do a few minutes on trader psychology. As you know, trader psychology, keeping your emotions in check, doing what you're supposed to do, is the greatest skill you will ever master in trading. The technicals are important, there is no doubt, but in the long run, your emotions and how you handle them is going to mean more than anything once you get the technicals down. So, I like to read a little something every day, a good quote, somebody having some good trading words of wisdom, because I hope that by hearing this every day, you'll internalize it, and after a while, it'll just become part of you. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to go through, we're going to take a look at all the stocks in my watch list. We're going to go down through each one. We're going to look at all the charts. We're going to look at the support, resistance levels. We're going to look at the indicators. And as you hear me say every day, the way I view trading is I view different indicators and support levels as new groups of buyers potentially coming in. And if you want to buy a stock and you want it to go up, you want to be in the company of other buyers. And so the more indicators you can get that line up, the way that I look at it, it's the more groups of buyers coming in. So you want to be in the company as many buyers as you can if you go long a stock. And the best way that I found is when you have a confluence or combination of indicators lining up at the same price. Then after that, after the market closes, if anybody has any questions about anything I discussed today, please don't be shy, type it into the chat, and I will do my best to clarify it after the market closes. All right. And if you want me to take a look at any stocks, I'm happy to do that as well. Any stock symbols, I'm happy to do that as well. And if you have any just general questions about trading or trading psychology, anything like that, and if you feel comfortable, type it into the chat and I will do my best to address it. All right. So that is going to be the plan. So if you can, please stand by and give me about 40 seconds. I'll run the U.S. legal disclaimer and I will be back in just a sec. Thanks.
This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much.
All right, so CSTIVs, China Foreign Minister Wang Yi, China will never yield to pressure and believe in principles of non-interference. China opposes bullying in international affairs. Great, that doesn't sound good. China is pursuing a new round of opening up with higher standards. China will hold up a multilateral trading system and open world economy. Tariffs and provocation of trade disputes may even plunge the world into recessions. All right, well, that's good news. That should be positive for the market. Oh man, all right. Well, all we can do is what we can control. And the only thing we can control here is position sizing and getting in, getting out when we're supposed to. So let's take a look at DDM today. This is one of the charts that I'm not getting today's data, but I did buy DDM way back here. I've been in this trade for a long time. Bought this on August 26th. Previous day we closed under the 200-day. I bought it when we closed above the 200-day. This is a good back-tested, profitable long-term system of staying with this approach, with the close under and close back over, staying in as long as we are closing above the 200-day, getting out if we close under. So did buy this at 45.75. It has been moving up. As you guys know, I like to take partial profits on the way up when it's moving up. So I was fortunate enough today, let me show you real quick. On DDM, I was fortunate enough to get out of about 15% of the remaining shares right here at the top before it had its big move down. So this is a good illustration of, why I like to take profits. Very happy. I didn't get out of the whole position, but very near the top, and compared to where we are now, I mean, that's like a huge win on a day like today. So I have very few shares left of DDM. I'm actually even considering just locking in the whole thing because it takes up time on the podcast. And I mean, literally at this point, I'm out of 90, 85, 90% of the trade. And I'm really glad that I did phase when I phased. So anyway, did hit one profit target today, much lower now. So I guess I'll just make a decision at the end of the day. Usually if I get down to 5-10% left of what I have, then the numbers are so small, I just kind of want to clean up my charts, you know what I mean? So anyway, glad that we did hit one profit target today. All right, 5, darn it. So 5, I did buy 5 back here on the 25th of September. I bought it. We had a V2. Here is day 1. Here is day 2. Here is day 3. We washed out day 1's low. Day 3, we closed above day 1's close. We also closed above the 50-day moving average. Above the 50 RSI, and we closed above the 5 and the 10, all in one fell swoop. So it looks pretty good. I did take the trade here at 129.41. This was the washout bar. This was day 1, day 2, washed out day 1. My stop was a halfway. My initial stop was a halfway of the washout bar. Yesterday, we just closed above it, and that kept me in the trade. Unfortunately, I would much rather have gotten out just a little under, but that's how it goes. You can't, you can't dictate what's going to go on. All you can do is follow your rules. So it did hold above my stop at the end of the day, so I did keep it. Today, of course, we're having a big down day, down to 1.63%. So obviously, any close under 127.90, I will get out at the end of the day. And barring some miracle, looks like we are definitely going to be under that. So that's just how it goes. We don't win every trade, obviously. We just know, the way I look at this is if I would take this setup 100 times, I'd probably win 60 to 70% of these trades. And 40% I'm going to lose. And this is just one that I looks like that I'm going to lose. All right, gold. So interesting. Gold is down today on a day like today. I did buy gold here back on the 23rd of September when the 5 EMA crossed over the 20 EMA. This is a good back-tested, long-term profitable approach to trading gold. It did happen within the value zone, which I like, so I did take a full position. Next day did go up, did get out of about 10% of my shares, thankfully, right, that I got out of 10% here, locked in a little profit up here, and it mitigated the downward move we've had ever since then. But today I'll be watching the 520 crossover. Currently the 5 is at 104.01. The 20 is at 142 even. The 20 EMA is at 142.06. So right now at this moment, the 5 is under the 20. So I will go ahead and stop out of this trade. These crossover trades, the way they're designed is that to keep you, they're designed to limit your losses when you're wrong. And with this approach, it's wrong more than it's right. But the winners, the times that it is right, you can have big trades. And that's the reason these crossover works. You have many, many small losses, and then, eventually you'll find a nice big trend, and that will pay for all the small losses and more. So anyway, it looks like I will be exiting gold here today with the 5 EMA crossing under the 20 EMA. All right, Merck. So I like this signal yesterday. I did buy this here, 926. I bought it at 83.91. I bought it because we had this nice V2. Here is day 1. Day 2 washes out day 1. Day 3 closes above day 1's close. In addition, it also closed above all the moving averages, also closed above the 50 RSI, which is positive, and it was a higher low V2. And I always like higher lows rather than lower low V2. So, this is a good example of having a really nice setup. Oh, and MACD went positive as well. So on top of that, MACD went positive. So, but this is a good example of, even though you have a really nice setup, you still have to position size conservatively, and not go, "Ooh, this is a super good setup. I'm going to take 2 or 3 times my normal amount," because just like I mentioned, if I take this trade 100 times, I'm probably going to have 60 to 70 winners with this trade, but that leaves 40 to 30 losers that for sure I'm going to have, right? So it doesn't mean it was a bad setup. It was a good setup to trade. It just didn't work this time. So the washout bar was here at 83.32, and so if we have a close below 83.32, I will get out, and that will be my stop, and just adhere to my stop and keep that loss small, right? I mean, our loss generally, if I had to kind of like round it, my losses are generally between about 1% when I'm wrong, but I have the ability to make 3% or more to the upside if I'm right. So a good example of a really nice setup that just didn't work out, but we have to adhere. And I know some people, the way they think, they're like, well, I'll just keep it because we have the 100-day underneath this and I don't really want to lock in this loss. But please don't do that. When you have an initial plan, just stick with the plan, right? I mean, it's a loss, it's unfortunate, but by tomorrow I won't even remember it, I promise you. But if it's a huge loss, you're going to remember it for a while. I can remember losses back into 2001. They were so big, right? I don't do that anymore. So anyway, Merck did not work out so hot, but I'm glad it is off of its lows. All right, so SPY, the famous SPY trade. This was a green trade for us, thankfully, today. But before I show you, I based this upon a back study from Lizanne Saunders at Bespoke Invest on Twitter. I really like this back test. It's long-term. It shows a long-term edge, but there's 2 approaches here. First approach is you could buy the SPY, SPY, S&P 500 tracking stock. You could buy the SPY at the open each day and then sell it at the close each day. If you had done this every day since 1993, buy at the open, sell at the close, buy at the open, sell at the close, you've actually returned a negative 13.9%. However, if you did the opposite, which is what I do, if you buy the SPY at the close each day, sell it at the next morning, sell it the next day at the open, buy at the close, sell at the open, buy at the close, sell at the open, from 1993, you would have actually returned a positive 634.2%. So past performance, no guarantee of future result. Okay, obvious, right? But going forward, or since 1993, you can see there's a huge edge to buying in the afternoon, selling in the morning, holding it overnight, compared to buying it in the morning, selling it in the afternoon, which is what most day traders do. There's not a lot of upwards movement during the day. So, really what this back test shows is that all of the increase in value in the S&P since 1993 has come in the after hours. It's come in the after hours market, it's come in the pre-market, and then people sell it into the opening, just like I do. Buy it at the close, sell it at the open. So I really do like this chart. It really is a great example of using an approach that has an edge. You can see over the long term, the edge plays out, but in between you have ups and downs, and this is just normal. Just like in a casino, they don't win every hand. They do have times where they do lose, but in the long run, they always win because they have the edge. And if you have a good trading approach that has a good edge, it will work in the long run, but you can't blow yourself up in the short run, and that's why position size is so important. So with that being said, this chart's a little, I woke up when I looked at the chart and I was like, I had another break-even trade. But anyway, I'll show you on the other chart. But actually, I did buy it yesterday at 297, and I sold it at the open right near the top at 297.87. So I did make 87 cents on that overnight. Grateful for that, especially on a day like today, having a winner at least. But you can see here on the other chart, yeah, I bought here, and you can see it gapped up, and that's where I sold it. So luckily that was nice and really great to get out right at the top before this big move down that we've had. All right, final one is SSO. I did buy SSO. This is a back-tested long-term approach of trading the 10 EMA over the 50 EMA. I did buy it back here on the 6th of September. I only bought a half a position because the price triggered over the 1 ATR channel, and over the 1 ATR channel I generally will not take a trade, but on these crossover trades I will. If it would have been in the 3rd ATR channel, I would not have taken it. But anyway, it's worked out pretty well so far. We have gone above. I did take some profits up at those higher ranges. Today it is down with everything else. Let's show. Yeah, today it is down with everything else. So I will continue to hold this until the 10 crosses back under the 50. So this is a completely mechanical trade. I like to have different type of trading approaches. I like to have some mechanical, I like to have some discretionary trades, so it equals things out over time. Just like you don't want to have too many individual stocks like in the technology sector. I don't like to just have one trading approach. I like to have different trading approaches, and that's why I have discretionary and why I also have mechanical approaches. But this is a mechanical approach. So all right, so yeah, really glad we hit that profit target on DDM. Boy, I'll tell you what. All right, let me take a look real quick. Hey Max, how you doing? Good to see you. Max says, I thought I had Trump figured out, but he will do trade deal before election. But with this behavior, I am not sure anymore. I know. Yeah, it's something new for the market to experience. I don't think we've ever seen this before. But again, all we can do, everyone, is follow our rules, position size correctly. We obviously can't control anything, especially at that kind of level. Frank, hey buddy, how you doing? Frank says, in my humble opinion, it is important to focus on a trade on stocks that have solid fundamentals. It can only help. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's an old saying, fundamental analysis tells you what to buy, and technical analysis tells you when to buy. So, that's why most of the stocks I have in my watch list are leaders and profitable companies. Dr. Jorgensen, good to see you, my friend. Bruce says, SPY profit 87 cents. Can get a cup of coffee at home, not Starbucks. More than that. That's only 87 cents per share. So, yeah, it was a decent little profit overnight. So I'm very, very happy for that. All right. So, this is the time of the day where I like to do a little bit on trader psychology. I like to go through Twitter. I like to look at some of the leading Twitter channels, people that put out really good information, trading words of wisdom. And one of them is Akil Stokes. I really like his channel. If you haven't gone to it, at Akil Stokes RTM. He does videos each day where he talks about, different aspects of trading, and he posts really great stuff. So I really do appreciate his channel. And when I saw this today, I did want to go over it. I thought it was appropriate for today. But Akil says, learning to lose will teach you how to win. Quote from at Peter L. Brandt. And guys, it's true. I mean, in order to win, whether it's sports or trading or anything else, you have to go through losses, right? So this is the second part of the, oops. Okay, so this is, it wouldn't show on the screen here, but this is the trading quote from Peter Brandt. In my opinion, learning the importance of managing losing trades is the single most important trading component. And it's true. I mean, look, you're not going to learn a whole lot from winning trades. It's not going to help your discipline have really nice, easy winning trades. You're just going to start thinking that you're good. It's the losing trades, it's the losing weeks, it's the losing months of trading that are really going to improve your trading for the future, because you're either going to manage your positions correctly, you're going to stick with your plan even though you are having a loss, and whether that is trying to hold on to that loss, you don't want to take the loss, or on the other hand, if you're having a losing period and you just don't feel like you want to take the next trade because you're tired of losing, well, that's a mistake as well, right? So, Peter Brandt, very famous trader. Trading quote of the day, in my opinion, learning the importance of managing losing trades is the single most important trading component, Peter Brandt. So remember, we're all going to have losses. Doesn't mean you're not a good trader. It just means you're not in phase with what the market is doing at the moment. So, the real difference between a winning trader and a losing trader is how they are going to manage their emotions, how they're going to manage what they do during times of losses, whether they're going to stick with the plan or whether they're going to get mad, frustrated, impulsive, say, hey, it's too low, I'm going to double or triple up on my position. Well, that's obviously not part of your plan. And if it is part of your plan, you got to get a new plan. But, the losing streaks bring out bad behaviors in traders, and you have to get those under control. And that's the only thing that's going to keep you in the game, and so that you can be around for the next upswing. So, all right. Let me move that over there. But thank you, Akil. Appreciate everything you do and all your great trading words of wisdom. All right. Well, let's go through, take a look, and see. All right. Let's go through our positions today, see if there's anything that looks interesting. Just real quick, just for previous positions. So if we close on 5, if we close under 127.90, I will be getting out of that. So that looks very likely. Gold definitely looks like we'll be getting out of gold with the 5 EMA. Crossing under the 20 EMA. Merc definitely looks like we're going to be getting out of Merc as well. SPY, going to be buying SPY again at the end of the day. So that is the plan. So, hey, Bing He is here. Good to see you. That's our friend from Singapore. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for getting up early. Okay, so listen, just real quick. What I want to do is I want to put in my orders here because I really cannot see these closing above, and if they do, I will just manually override them. But sorry, I should have done this before, but I had the flood situation going on. All right, so I'm putting in my orders to sell 5 gold, Merc, okay, so my end of day orders to sell 5 gold, Merc, And that's all we have to sell, but I do trade several accounts, so I'm going to have to do this a couple times here. Five. Gold. Merc. All right, we got that taken care of now. All right, here we go. Apple. All right, so Apple's down $1.45. Relative strength of Apple is pretty strong compared to the rest of the market. I do like that it's coming back into the value zone. Once it starts coming into the value zone, I start looking at it as a potential entry in the future. But I would need this to start moving sideways a little bit here, have the bars narrow, and look for a V1 trigger back to the upside. So, you know, it's working on it. It's coming down here, but it's not just quite ready yet. Adobe. So Adobe had this nice bounce off the 200-day. We did go up yesterday. We did hold above the 50 RSI. You know, I was watching Steve Burns' video newsletter yesterday, which is really great. I can't recommend it enough. It's at newtraderu.com, but 3 times a week he does analysis. He did take Adobe right here back on the 24th when we got down close to the bounce off the 200, and you know, the last couple times it had bounced this area, and it's exactly where it bounced. It did close above 52 RSI yesterday, so I thought he was going to keep it, but after watching his newsletter, I realized that he did get out because, see the dotted line, it rejected the 50 EMA above. So really good trade, Steve. Super great trade, and good read on the rejection of the 50, and you stayed out of all this nonsense. So wonderful trade, but nothing here today. You know, if it gets back down to the 200-day again, maybe goes under, closes over, gives us a good risk reward, I might be interested in taking a look at Adobe then. All right, AGQ is one of the stocks that doesn't work on that other chart here. As with gold, down 44.74 RSI. In order for me to get interested in AGQ, I'd have to look for another 5 EMA crossing over the 20 EMA, or possibly at a 30 RSI dip. Right now we're only at a 44.66, so we're kind of in purgatory as far as the prices. I don't think you're gonna have a lot of buyers come in until you either go higher or lower, but that's just my opinion. AMD. You know, we talked about this moving sidewards, and eventually it was going to break one direction or the other. We just didn't know which direction, and we didn't know when it was going to happen, but it did start with this bar back here, and we have gone down since then. We're to 37.52. Excuse me, 37.52 RSI. So, you know, I might be interested in AMD if and only if we get maybe under the 200 back over, or under the 30 back over the 30 RSI. So Amazon, looks like Amazon is finding some support here at the third ATR channel. Third ATR channels are important, everyone, because about 90% of prices stay under the third ATR channel. So basically, once they get up to the third ATR channel, they find some resistance. Once they get down to the third ATR channel, that's a lot of the time they will bounce back. So we did reject the third ATR channel, which was good. I was looking for a 30 under 30 over 30 RSI on Amazon. I don't think we got there yet today. Let me take a look. We got to a 33.95, so not quite low enough. But so what I'm really looking for on Amazon is for the stock to go under 30 and back over 30. So I don't think that's going to happen today. So nothing on Amazon for me today. Boeing, just too high. We are in an uptrend. I need this to move back into the value zone, go sideways, look for a V1, V2 entry to the long side. So nothing there. Alibaba, this chart doesn't show Alibaba. Alibaba had a horrible day today. Dang it. Good thing we didn't have it. It's down 5.41% on the news, on the release from the White House about not investing in the possibility of not investing in China. So, wow, big down day. So glad we don't have that. Caterpillar has been moving up, is starting to move back down into the value zone, which is good. It is starting to move sideways, so this is starting to look good. I just need some kind of attempted move to the downside that immediately reverses, trigger a V1 to go long, but nothing there today. Same with DBC. Actually, that is yesterday's chart. Yeah. I was trying to work on a V1 here, but nothing there on DBC. DDM, of course, we already have that. We did hit one profit target, thankfully. Walt Disney. As far as taking a normal, regular long position in Walt Disney, it's at a 34.43 RSI. I would like to see Walt Disney down here in this area, under 30, back over 30, or ideally under 30, back over 30, under the 200, back over the 200. I did sell some puts down to Disney down here at 123, where I have the 30 ATR channel, the 30 RSI, the 200-day moving average, and the 6 ATR channel, and the 250-day moving average as potential support for me. As long as the price does not close below 123 by October 11th, I will be able to keep the whole premium. When I sell options, I like to look at options on 3 time frames. On the monthly time frame, it puts the 20-month moving average underneath the support and also about halfway of the bar. Generally, huge up bars do find support. So on the monthly, I am finding some support here. On the weekly, I am finding some support with the 50-week moving average. So hopefully that will add some support. And then, of course, on the daily, like I said, 3rd ATR channel, 200-day, 6 ATR channel, and the 250-day moving average. So we'll see. We'll see what happens on this trade. But this is a put till October 11th. But as far as just a regular entry, again, I want to see ideally right in this zone. If we could go under the 200, back over the 200, or ideally under the 200, back over the 200, under the 30, back over the 30, have that confluence of signals, that would be outstanding. Etsy, we've had this big move up. It rejected the 200-day. We are coming down into the value zone. Looks like we are finding some support here. So this is really looking good for a potential V1 or V2 entry to the upside. We just need a V1 or a V2. It's working on a V2 here today, and it's up today, which is important. But I like to see prices move up, go down, move sideways. There really was no sideways movement yet. Now we have 2 days of movement. So I'd like to, ideally, in the coming days, I'd like to see it attempt to go down here and then trigger. That would be a great place, but nothing on Etsy today. Ford, what happened here? I think that's a bad tick. We're just, we did move above the value zone. We are now back in the value zone. We are obviously moving sideways. So, and we have the 200-day of support underneath us. So ideally, really great potential for a trade here would be an attempt to move back down, go under the 200-day, reverse back up, close above the 200-day, and create a V1 entry. So it looks good. It's just that we don't have the trigger yet, so we need to be patient. Facebook, we're at a 35.45 RSI. I do like the confluence of the 3rd ATR channel and the 200-day. I just like to see this go under and close back over, and I would take a long position in Facebook. Well, 5 below has come off of its low. Again, my stop on this is 127.90, so I will be getting out of this if it closes under 127.90, although I'm really glad it is off of its lows. Gold we talked about. It looks like I will be getting out of this. It looks like the 5 EMA is closing under the 20 EMA, and that is my signal to go ahead and stop out of this trade here. Google, big down day, big up day. inside day. Now we've gone down. It's holding the 50 RSI, which is good. At this point, I would need to have a few more days in the value zone, moving sideways, and look for a V1 or a V2. Goldman Sachs, nice move up, retracement back into the value zone, moving sideways. This is all is good. This is a perfect setup as far as up, down, sideways. I just need an attempted stab down, reversal back up, and that would be an awesome trade. Anthony and I went over this last night. Everything is set up. We just need some kind of entry. IBB is at a 33.36 RSI. I would be interested in this if we could ideally go below 30, close back above, go below the third ATR channel, close back above. That would be good. That would be good. I took the 520 EMA cross, or the 530 EMA cross, back here on the 16th. So this was another tough trade, but I did take it here. It did move sideways. This day I had to stop out with the 5 under the 20, but this is a good example, everybody, of getting out when you're supposed to. Imagine if I hadn't got out and said, oh, I'll hold it for a while, see what happens. And I'd really be mad at myself. I don't have to be mad at myself here because I followed my plan. But you know, another location to look for possibly for a long entry in IVB would be a close under the 30 and back over. All right, Intel. Same with a lot of charts. You know, we've had a nice up move, down move into the value zone. Oh, my gardener's down. Into the value zone. We are starting to move sideways. So again, this is another good possible setup for another V1, V2 entry to the upside, but there's nothing there. Ooh, IWM, boy. This has just been a one-way ticket downwards, hasn't it? Looks like it did go under the 200 and back over the 200, which is positive. But I'm not going to buy that there today. I honestly would rather see this close under the 200 and back over the 200. Johnson & Johnson down again today. There is nothing here today, actually, but we did buy Johnson & Johnson here when we had this V1. Here's day one, here's day two. Day two washes out day one, closes above day one, and it did move nicely our way. I decided to lock in the profits when we had this V1 to the downside. See how here's day one, we go up, we close under. So I decided from a discretionary standpoint just to lock in my trade there, and I'm glad I did. Right? So I stayed out of this mess. So glad for that. Coca-Cola, it's just consolidating, moving sideways like crazy. Really nothing there. If we had a big move down, reversal back up, big washout to the downside, reversal back up, V1, V2, I would take that, but there's nothing there today. Lockheed Martin, bearish engulfing candle to the downside, so nothing there. MasterCard, not having a great day either, is finding some support at the 100-day moving average, but not enough for me. You know, if right now we were to 30 RSI or a low 30 RSI at the 200, I would take this, but right now just the little dip under and over the 100 is not enough for me. Altria, we did bounce under the 30, back over the 30, but now we are just moving sideways. We have yesterday's bar inside of the day before, today's bar inside of yesterday's bar. My feeling here is that this probably is going to move strongly one way or the other. Currently, we're at a 2960 RSI. So if this does close above... If this does close above a 30, I will take a position in this. I will take a half a position because we're under the 200-day moving average. So let me just do the numbers there. How are we doing on time? All right, we're doing okay. All right. But yeah, we're at 2970. If this closes above the 30, I will take this trade because we have found some support here, right? And but only if it closes above 30, right? And then in the coming days, if it closes below 30, I'll just have to go ahead and get out. But again, this is under the 200 day. So whenever anything is under the 200 day, just my rules, my personal rules are I only take a half a position. So Philip Morris is a possibility. Merck, of course, we took that yesterday and it immediately reversed on us. So we'll be getting out of this as long as we're under 83.32. But be nice if it kept moving up there just to reduce the loss. But who knows what will happen. But I'm glad, currently at least, that it's off of its lows. Boy, look at Microsoft. Look at this crazy. Up, down, down, way up, inside, way down. So there's a lot of volatility going on here with Microsoft. So nothing, no type of setup for me. Netflix, we did go under the 30, back over the 30. Is kind of holding here. If we could come down another day or two, test this third ATR channel, have a nice V1, V2, I would take that trade. Or conversely, if we could go under the 30 RSI and back over the 30 RSI, like I just talked about on MO or Altria, I would do that as well. So this did not go under 30. I don't think it went under 30. I don't think it got even close, did it? 31.86. So no, I want to see it go under 30, reject that level, and come back over. All right, Nike. Nike, we had good earnings, right? We had definitely had good earnings. We've been moving sideways. It's holding the earnings number, so that's positive. 69.10 RSI. It looks like we were above 70 probably at one point, closing below. If I had been in this position, I would be exiting with that over 70 under 30. Over 70 under 70. Philip Morris had that news that it was not going to merge with Altria. Did reject the 200-day moving average. So nothing there. PayPal, boy. Thoroughly lost the 200-day moving average. So, going forward, looking on PayPal, now that we're at this RSI level, down here at the 30 RSI, under 30, over 30, and it would also be ideal if we could go under the 30 ATR channel and over the 30 ATR channel. So for me in the future, right, it's not here yet. You have to be patient. You have to let the trade come to you where you want it. But right down here is where I would be interested in buying PayPal. The Qs down again today. We did buy the Qs back here recently. Did move our way. We scaled. Yesterday was our exit here when the 5 EMA crossed under the 20 EMA, and good thing we took it. So we avoided this. So going forward, what would I be interested in the Qs? I'd be interested if we could get down under the 30, back over the 30, or if we go to the upside, if we have a 5 EMA cross back over the 20 EMA, just like we took back here. S&P, of course, we had that overnight trade. Thankful that one was a winner for us. I will be buying this at the end of the day as usual. Square, okay, this is one of the charts that, so it's down slightly. Okay, so it's down slightly today. V1 to the downside also, but there is nothing here today. I did buy Square here a couple days ago when we had the under 30 back over the 30. At the same time, we had this nice V1, and I did sell it yesterday for a nice gain, over 5% gain to the upside. When on a closing basis, intraday we went above 50 RSI, closed below, so that was my exit. So that was a good trade. SSO, okay, we talked about that. TLT, which are bonds. So you can see bonds have been rallying. Money has been flowing into safer assets here, but really no signal on TLT. Tesla had that big day up yesterday. It was up higher earlier. Now we have a V1 to the downside. Here's day one, day two. Washes out day one. Looks like it's going to close below day one's close, but there is no no setup here today. Twitter having a pretty big down day here as well. Although, you know, we did move up, nice uptrend. We did come into the value zone, move sideways. Then we had another leg down. Now we've moved sideways. This is setting up for a really nice possible V2 on Monday. Here is day one. Here is day two. Day two washes out day one. If Monday we can close above day one's close, it would put us back into the value zone. It would put us back above the 1 ATR channel, and ideally above the moving averages, and ideally above 50 RSI. So definitely nothing today, but it is setting up for a good possible V2 trade on Monday. Conversely, if we could get, you know, if we can move down here, move sideways, have a nice attempted move under the third ATR channel and the 100 and back over with the V1, that would be interesting. It would also be interesting to buy Twitter at the 30 RSI, under the 30 RSI, over the 30 RSI, or under the 200-day, back over the 200-day. So there's a lot of possibilities here on Twitter, but nothing today. UNG, nothing there. UNH, nothing on UNH today. Oil under the 200-day, nothing there. The dollar, it's had a lot of strength lately, nothing there, too high. The VIX, you know, one thing I want to quickly show you on the VIX is, you know, there's a back-tested study on the VIX where essentially if the 5 EMA is under the 30 EMA on the VIX, we're in a low volatility environment, but if the 5 crosses over the 30, then that's generally the start of a high volatility environment. And we're not quite over that yet, although we don't need this chart to know we've had a lot of volatility, but from a back-tested standpoint, it's better for stocks if we can keep this 5 underneath the 30. But VIX having a big day today, up 10%. Wow. And over the 200-day, yeah, not so hot. Verizon, down slightly today, just too high. Need this to come into the value zone, move sideways, look for a V1 or V2. Walmart, even on the day, so that's pretty good. Nothing there. Energy Select, we had that big move up. We've gone down ever since. We're in the value zone. If we could see this moving sideways, showing that there's no more sellers left and we're finding some support, have an attempt down, reverse back up, that would be good. XLF, nothing on XLF at this moment. Real estate, down pretty big today. We've been moving up pretty nicely on XLRE, but nothing today. Utilities did get up to the third ATR channel, which is very strong today. We've lost the third ATR channel, so nothing there today. I need to pull back into the value zone, move sideways, look for V1, V2. Healthcare also down today, lost to 200, and XPH, we're going to have to look at the other chart. Also down today, so nothing there. So it looks like today it's more of getting the roundup out and keeping the losers out of our garden. You know, I always use that analogy, but you know, you have your garden of stocks, the ones that are growing, looking good, profitable, keep those. The ones that hit your stop, that are cluttering up your screen with red, get the Roundup out and just get those weeds out of your garden. And so, you know, there's quite a lot of weeds we have to get rid of today. So quickly to our current positions, DDM, that is fine. We're just going to keep the DDM. That's the mechanical, the mechanical one. So we'll just keep that. 5, really glad it's off of its lows, but definitely we'll be getting rid of this if it closes under the under 127.90. Getting rid of gold with the 520 cross under. All right, well, Merck's off of its lows, but it did close below our stop, so Anyway, so it looks like we'll be getting rid of 5, which triggered our stop. Gold, 520 triggered our stop to the downside. Merck triggered our stop to the downside. So lots of stops today, but the market has been tough. It has been punishing. So tough to make money in this kind of market. More important to conserve your money, and learn from this. But most important is to not get frustrated and pile on large positions, and just be patient, wait for entries. And now our only possible entry today, for me, would be Altria MO. We under 30. If we close back over 30, I would enter this. So that looks like about the only possibilities for today. And of course, we're buying the S&P 500 as well. All right, so we have 4 minutes. Max says, what about UNH? Well, I was looking at that. I drew that line. You could take this with the close over the 30. You could. Right now it's under the 30. With the close over the 30, yes, you could take it. But I talked about this yesterday. I wanted to see it close back above the 30 and back above the third ATR channel. If it did that, I would take a half a position. But right now we are under, and we are under both. So I think I don't like this big bar here. This big bar concerns me, but it would be legitimate with the close over 30 and a close back over the third ATR channel. Hey Marco, how you doing, bud? Anthony says, Greg, the values on your RSI are numerical or Boolean? I'm not sure, Anthony. I think they're numerical. I'll take a look at that when the market closes a little more carefully. So it doesn't look like MO at the moment is going to be above. Very light for the weekend. Good with this market. Trumpy might misbehave. Yeah, we're going to be light. We are definitely going to be light. So I think I have everything triggered in here. I really don't think I have to do anything other than possibly MO. So I will put that in just in case. $29.65, it's potential. UNH still below 30, still below the third ATR channel. So we have about a minute and 15 seconds. We have 1 minute. How about that? UNH and MO both have exactly the same RSI reading. Well, they did a second ago. 29.65. All right, so I will be getting out of 5 with the stop. I will be getting out of gold with the stop. I will be getting out of Merck with the stop. We'll be rebuying SPY again at the end of the day. And it does not look like MO is going to close above.
Order filled.
All right. All right.
Order filled.
So new position on SPY at 295.40. All right. I'm glad we hit that overnight profit target on SPY. I'd sell there and buy there at any time. So that's good. I did notice something earlier. I guys told you that my water was off in my house because of this flood situation, and even though I knew the water was off, just by habit, I went to the faucet like 3 times to turn it on. I'm like, it's off. What are you doing? Well, that's habit, right? Habit drives you, even though I just 5 minutes ago realized that it was off. I still went back, and by habit, I went and tried to turn it on and went, what? It's not working. Yeah, you just did it like twice already. But it's a good example of getting into habits. I'm sure you've had your electricity go off, and even though it's off, you go and you flip on the switch because it's a habit. Well, those are the kind of habits that I want you to have with trading. I want you to get into good trading habits, be consistent, do what you're supposed to do all the time. So habit will take over for you, right? And you will do the things that you're supposed to do because they're good habits. But if you have bad habits, if you double and triple up, if you don't adhere to your stop losses, no matter how much you consciously want to do it, your habits are going to drive you. So create good habits in trading, and they will get you through. Right. So anyway, I just kind of thought that was relevant. But listen, if you guys have any questions or comments, please type them in the chat. I will get to them. But before we get to the answer part, I just want to put in my daily quick plug. Hope that's okay. But I want to let everyone know I do offer private one-on-one coaching, teaching, and mentoring lessons in the evening time via Skype. I do enjoy teaching. I've had really good success with my clients. I do offer a 10-hour course. It's live, 5 2-hour sessions with me one-on-one in the evening time via Skype. And I teach you everything that I know. And, this live stream, I hope, is helpful. But, to be honest, the one-on-ones are better because we talk back and forth in real time. And generally what I do is I teach the first part of the lesson, and then I have the student teach it back to me. I throw curveballs at you. I ask you a lot of questions, and I want to make sure that you can teach it back to me so that I know that you really know it. And, you've always, you hear me say, you hear other people talk about, okay, you have to have a good trading plan and follow it. I don't think most people, most beginning traders, understand what that is. They think it's one-dimensional. They think it's okay, I buy here when it's over here and I sell when it's under there. Well, that's one part of it, but that is not a complete plan. A complete plan is the psychology. A complete plan is your position size. It's your correlation of your positions. It's having it's having good habits. But that's also what I do for you with the lessons that I teach. I really try to create a customized lesson plan based upon, your account size, based upon your experience, how much screen time you're going to have. And, if you're interested, let me know. My email is in the description, and you can also contact me on Twitter. But it generally, even if you just want to kick the tires and see what it's all about, it's just a free Skype call. It's about 30-40 minutes, an hour, just to get to know each other better. I want to know about your trading experience. I want to know about your challenges, what your goals are. And then, you can interview me as well, just to see if it's a good fit. It's not part of the course. It's just, it's just a Skype call where we get to know each other a little bit, and you can kind of kick the tire. So if you're interested, please reach out to me. And then also, if you like this channel and you haven't subscribed, I really would appreciate it if you would subscribe. And if you found today's podcast or the podcast in general helpful, if you could hit the thumbs up button, I would appreciate that as well. It helps Google or YouTube get it out to more people and helps build the channel. And the channel has been growing, so thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. But if you wouldn't mind, hit the thumbs up button. Even on the way out, that would be awesome. So, okay, well, thank you. That's my plug. So, yeah, Max, on UNH, looks like it did close under the 30, and it also closed under the third ATR channel. So, It on the bright side, it did hold some support after the huge day. I mean, here we've just been going down. You want to wait and see the price stop going down and some buyers coming in and supporting it up. So this doesn't, it doesn't look bad. If on Monday we closed above the 30 ATR channel and back above 30, I would consider it. Kurt L. Hey, how you doing, Kurt? Nice to see you. Appreciate you coming by. If you have any questions for me, please let me know. And Marco, hey, buddy, what's happening? And Anthony, Greg, the values on your RSIs are numerical or Bolin? I don't know what that means, Bolin, but I assume that they're numerical. Why do you ask, bud? Hey, Mount Doji, what's going on? Mount Doji says, hey, everyone, I hope you all have a good weekend. Thank you, Mount Doji. Hope you do too. Dr. Jorgensen says, vaping is in big trouble. Another death, more people sick. Better stock up on your vaping supplies. Might be banned. Could be. I'm not surprised at anything anymore. Dr. Jorgensen says, very light for the weekend. Good with this market. Trumpy might misbehave again. Yeah, we will see. UNH big bar yesterday. Yeah, that did scare me a little bit. Dr. Jorgensen says, good hike, beautiful day here in the desert. Okay, good. Glad you're back stateside. Let's see. Toby says, hey, Greg, for your end of day SPY trade, do you use market or limit? I use market, Toby. Yep, I use market. The nice thing about, the SPY is it's so liquid and the bid-ask spread is so tight that you don't really have to worry too much about that. Bing He, that's our friend from Singapore, says, another down day. My STNG nearly hit my half profit target, but now pulling back. Yeah, not a lot of things going up in this market. There's really hardly any safe spots. I think the only thing that's been safe, at least the only green that I see on my screen, is the VIX, which is the opposite of the market. So if the market's usually up, VIX will be down. All right. Okay, where did we end the day at? Okay, so we came off of our low. Dow's only down 70.87, but the NASDAQ's still down 91 points, 1.13, so pretty big down day. So the techs definitely took it on the chin today. So, all right, so we ended up pretty light. We are quite light, as a matter of fact. We have DDM, we have SPY, and we have SSO. But I did get out of 5, I did get out of gold, I did get out of Merck. And so, yeah, it's just one of those days, but they happen, everybody. And sometimes you can have days like this for 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row, right? So you have to get used to that, right? You have to get used to that. Trading does not always go up. And, the sooner you learn it, the better. Hopefully you'll just learn it with small position sizes. Position size is the most important thing, guys. Seriously, it's the most important thing. The maximum I'll take on any stock is a 10% position size. So like if I had $100,000 in my account, I would only buy $10,000 of that particular stock. And then in the aggregate, if I had $100,000 in an account, I would have my maximum position would be 6 positions, or 60% of that. I never go over 60% of that. I just don't like to be all in. You never know what's going to happen, right? Anthony says, I asked because my RSI and TD does not come close to yours. I see there is an option. Mine was numerical, and I figured that's what I was checking. Is your RSI based upon 14 days on the close, Anthony? You can see here on the screen here, close 14. Maybe your RSI, maybe the default settings like 7 or something, or 20. Could that possibly it? Just make sure the settings are based upon the close and 14 days. And it's still not the same, huh? Take a look at Amazon for me. And tell me what your RSI is on Amazon. Amazon doesn't have dividends. I think possibly we talked about some charts do not adjust for, some do adjust for dividends and some others don't adjust for dividend. I think that might be possible, but Amazon doesn't have a dividend. So what is your RSI currently on Amazon right now? Bing He says, Greg, the RSI ATR channel reading on your chart seem like different to TC2000 and stock charts. I think the reason about what I just said, on my charts, I adjust for, let me show you, unsplit and dividends. If I clicked on this button here to show prices unsplit and to show for dividends, I have a feeling ours would line up together just nicely. But I want to see my prices split, not unsplit, and factoring in dividends. But it's not all bad news, because no matter, just use what you have. If you have the ability to show the prices split, then show the prices split. But if you don't worry about it, because it's not that mine's right and yours is wrong. The key is that you use what you have and you use it consistently. So Anthony says 35.36. Okay. 35.36.9. Yeah. See how we're the same, Anthony? We're the same. And that's because Amazon does not have dividends. So if you talk to TD, ask them if you have the ability to adjust your prices for dividends and splits. And if you do, use the setting that lets you adjust for the splits and the dividends. If you don't, then it's not a problem. Our charts are just not going to line up exactly, but it's fine. It doesn't mean mine's right and yours is wrong. It just means you need to use yours consistently. Yeah, I think, yeah, but let's do this. Let's go to Apple, and I'll bet you they won't line up. So on Apple, mine's 55.75, but I bet Jesse, yours is going to be different than mine. And that's just because on my chart, I have a setting where I adjust for the splits and the dividends. On TD Ameritrade charts, you may not be able to do that. But again, it's fine. Doesn't matter. Just be consistent with what you have. $55.64. See, mine's $55.75. So that's the difference, Jesse. But again, doesn't matter. Doesn't mean yours is wrong and mine is right. I just have my chart set up differently. And ideally, I think that's the best way to have them set up, is to adjust for the splits and adjust for the dividends. But if you don't have that option, you're totally fine. Just be consistent with what you have. 55.64. Yep, mine's 55.75. Watch. If I change this to adjust, I'll bet you mine will be 55.64. Boom. Boom. 55.64. So that's exactly what it is. But I don't want to show my prices unsplit. I like them to show split. But again, it's fine. That's what your settings are. Just be consistent with your setting. All right. Well, it'd be nice to get my water back on. I'll tell you what, it was like a flood, like rivers coming down. I had a pipe in the backyard that no one noticed, and the guy broke it. And, oh my gosh, it was horrible. It was horrible. I'm running out there in the street trying to lift the manhole off. That thing's heavy. Had this huge wrench. I had to jump down there like. Oh boy. So anyway, hopefully we've got it taken care of. All right. Well, listen, everybody. I hope that everyone has a nice weekend. Jesse, looking forward to starting our lessons next Tuesday. I think that's going to be awesome. I think you're going to be a great student. So John, thank you so much for coming by. I hope you're doing well. Hope you guys are staying safe out there in the market. Anthony, really great having those lessons with you. You were a great student. I think you're going to do really well. You know, you're driven. I know you want to make this work. I know you want to follow the rules, and that's what it takes. And I think you're going to do just fine. And then Jesse just already said goodbye there. So looking forward to Monday. Bing He, I hope you're doing well. It was great having that chat with you last week, and I do hope that helped. So thank you for coming by. I hope you have a nice weekend. Dr. J, thanks for coming, my friend. I'll chat with you probably tonight. Mount Doji, good seeing you. Thanks for coming by as always. Kurt, nice having you. And in the future, if you have any questions, please let me know. And Max, good seeing you, my friend. Always appreciate you being here and your great questions and comments. Marco, if I can help you with anything, just let me know, and thank you for coming each day. I really do appreciate that. Toby, hope that helps, but yes, I do use a market order, not a limit order on the overnight SPY. Frank, really good comment there about, in your humble opinion, more important to trade on stocks that have solid fundamentals. But yes, that's why I said, you know, the old saying is fundamentals tell you what to trade, technicals tell you when to trade. That's why I like to keep, you know, the majority of my stocks here that really have good high fundamentals. Steve Burns, always a pleasure to have you. Always an honor to have you here, Steve. Really appreciate you coming by. Thank you again for putting me on your stock list, or your stock list on Twitter today. Anthony, said bye to Anthony, but yes, you are a graduate. So, but again, just because you graduated does not mean that that's end of you and I, you know, talking and me helping and mentoring you. I mean, once you're a student, I'm always going to mentor you. If you have any questions, please let me know. And then Dustin, W44, thank you for coming by. Always appreciate it. If you have any questions, let me know. And Rock Nike, like that name, man. And appreciate you coming by. So if you have any questions, anything I can help you with in the future, please let me know. So, all right. Well, that's it. I'm going to go check on the flood situation. Hopefully, it's taken care of, and as always, go out and do something nice for somebody today. Do a favor, give them a wave, say hi, or just be nice. We need more of that, right? So, all right. Thanks, Anthony. All right. Talk to you guys later. Have a good weekend now. Bye-bye.
U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation, and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.